I like wearing just a, board shorts and a rash guard. That's my diving. I love it.
That's Florida diving.
Good morning, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Tampa Bay Diving. It's so great to see each and every single one of you here. Thank you for joining me and tuning into the channel. If you haven't already, please dive down, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that dive bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Today's video is another in our On Location series, and I traveled over to the east coast of Florida to lead some clients on a dive to the Blue Heron Bridge. And I reached out to a dive shop that I always go to in the area to see if they would be interested in speaking with us and telling you about themselves and the services that they offer. And I received an immediate yes. They were thrilled with the opportunity to support the channel and answer any questions that we had. So we spoke with Julie and the staff at Pura Vida Divers in Riviera Beach, Florida, and had a great time doing so. We shared some laughs, some great dives, and of course, fish tacos. If you enjoyed this video, please go over to their social media pages and let them know that you appreciated the content from Blake at Tampa Bay Diving. The links will be down in the description below. And, well, let's dive on in. Hey guys, welcome back to Tampa Bay Diving. We're here at one of my favorite dive shops down in Riviera Beach, just right across from the Blue Heron Bridge. And this is Pura Vida Divers, and I'm standing here with my new friend, Julie. Julie,
hey.
How are you doing today?
Good, I'm doing great. Nice to meet you, Blake.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. It's we're up pretty early for a Saturday, I think. Yeah, but we're ready to get some awesome diving in, and you guys are ready to do business, it looks like.
Yeah, weather's great. Dives have been great lately. The aquatic life has been out and about, so what best to do is go diving.
And more importantly, it's starting to warm up here in Florida.
For us Floridians, yes, it is warming up.
Yeah, guys, it's been in the 50s and the 60s, and early morning it's been in the 40s, and I know for some of you that's not cold, but for us it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
So, Julie,
5 mil weather is the end of the world.
Yeah, I like not having to wear just, I like wearing just a board shorts and a rash guard. That's my diving. I love it.
That's Florida diving.
Yeah, actually it's one of a kind because you guys are in a great locale, but tell us a little bit more about the shop.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm Julie Blair. I've been diving this and working with this shop for about 6 to 7 years now. I'm an assistant instructor, and there has been so many different departments throughout the years that I've been working here. The shop has honestly just exceeded in expectations of what a local small dive shop can be. So 2002, the shop opened up and they had their first boat, Pura, which is a nice island hopper, very easy boat to get on. We had maybe a max of 12 to 14 divers. We do drift diving offshore, so that was like our most common dive, and obviously the Blue Heron Bridge, having it be in our backyard.
I think 0.2 miles away,
yeah.
Literally.
You could walk it if you need to.
In dive gear.
Yeah, and I've done it once, but if you park there early, you won't have to do that. Snorkeling, you can easily park down the street and walk over, but yeah, having that Blue Heron Bridge has been pretty much a great focus point, and being right over the bridge of the dive site is great for divers to come through and rent anything they need, get courses done with us, and really just dive like a local.
Mm-hmm. So what type of courses do you teach? Or what agency's courses do you teach?
Yeah, so we're actually a PADI CDC center as of recently. So that's a course development center through PADI. So we basically can start divers from a Discover Scuba level all the way up into a course director PADI professional level, which is really spectacular because we're the only CDC center in all of Florida pretty much. There might be a few other locations, but in a West Palm, very big dive site location, we're going to be the main one.
And you teach recreational courses as well as technical courses?
Yeah, so we've got recreational, we've got pro classes, we've got tech courses, and we basically do a lot for specialties through PADI as well. We're the only Blue Heron Bridge distinctive specialty dive center. So we actually founded the Blue Heron Bridge specialty dive course that you can take to really become a local around here. So you can have your own certification card that says you're a Blue Heron Bridge diver and you know all the secrets about the bridge.
So I haven't heard of that before,
You
but
haven't?
no, but you can
What?
get certified as a Blue Heron Bridge specialist. Now I've got equipment specialists, all these different things, but
Yeah.
I don't have that one. We
Yes.
might have to look into that.
And for us being the only dive shop, and like I said, we founded that distinctive specialty, makes it very special.
Okay, and I assume once students go through this course, they're going to know everything there is to know pretty much about
Yes.
Blue Heron Bridge.
Yes, and it's funny thing is because we are honing in on the Blue Heron Bridge throughout this whole month of March. Of course, we can have the distinctive specialty anytime that you're available, but we want to focus March as the Blue Heron Bridge and really make it a very more famous dive site than it is. So yeah, you basically come into the shop, you do just a little bit of classroom session, kind of learn about the dive site and like the high tide times, the current, and just different environmental conditions that you need to know before you jump in the water. Once you are in the water, you're really looking at the peak performance buoyancy, how to really hone in on a great dive position at the bridge since it is so shallow. Honestly, that is going to be probably the most challenging spot to get your buoyancy at. So it's good to get that first.
That's a good point, because whenever I have a student come to me over in Tampa, I tell them when we do our pull sessions, if you can dive in 3 feet of water, you can dive in any level of water.
You should be able to dive in any water, yeah.
If you can master buoyancy in 3 feet, you should be good.
Yeah, max depth for being over there if you bring a shovel maybe is 20 feet. So yeah, it's a great spot as like a pool and aquarium to see all kinds of different critters, but really hone in on yourself as a diver and make it more beneficial to you.
Okay.
Other dives.
Okay, so obviously we've got dive gear here, and obviously you're a dive shop, you sell dive gear, but what other things do you do for your divers and your students?
Yeah, so we actually have top of the line snorkeling scuba gear to rent as well as to purchase. A lot of our gear that we rent, we also have available to purchase. So a lot of students come in not knowing what fits them, not knowing what they like, and it's awesome to have such top of the line dive gear for rental. Because when you go to most dive shops, you're thinking that rental gear is not up to date, up to par, and it's just pretty much on the low end, where we would rather you try out gear that you may not end up renting anywhere else, and then you fall in love with it because it is so top of the line, it is so great and not average. It's basically something that will just open the door for you to think, what gear should I get for myself? And knowing you as a diver too, once you have your gear, you're diving more and you're way more comfortable in the water.
Well, just looking right here, I see Bear, I see Atomic, I see many different brands here that I like. I see a Kona.
We've got Tusa, Oceanic, like you said, Atomic, Zeagle, Bear, Hollis, Dive Right. We have it all.
All right.
So pretty much anything for any diver, you're gonna find something head to toe for you. Snorkeling or scuba diving.
Okay, and so divers come here, you do tank fills, you do air fills. I'm assuming you do gear service as well, so you can do repairs, maintenance, regular maintenance on.
Yeah, we actually are the biggest fill station in all of Florida, which is pretty cool. We have multiple gases banked. We've got Trimix banked as well, which not most dive shops have that gas ready to go on site.
And you would think, guys, being in Florida, that we would have Trimix readily available. It's not.
Yeah.
And
It's
as
there
you
for
can see,
hours.
that air station back over there is freaking amazing. I remember the first time I walked into this shop. It was a couple of years ago. I walked into the shop, and the first thing that caught my eye was the Airfill station, and I just my mouth dropped.
Yeah, it is jaw-dropping for sure.
And I've never seen anything like it. That's so amazing and unique.
And it's actually built by our boss, Dean Schuler. It's a family-owned company here, so it's a husband and wife, Shayna Phelan and Dean Schuler. And Dean Schuler put all of his work into that. So it's gonna be hard for us to get up and move, so we don't plan on moving at all. We plan on being in this spot because that fill station makes us pretty anchored down.
And well, you're in a prime location. You got the bridge, 0.2 miles that way, the beach if you want to go lay out and tan.
Dry your gear, go to the beach.
Or I know you guys have a boat right over here. You just head out, hit on a charter, go head out and do an awesome drift dive.
Yeah, so our first boat was Serena, and then a few years later we purchased a Newton called Marin, and then we purchased another Newton because Newtons are great dive boats, which is Aurelia. So we do have 2 Newtons at Lake Park Marina, which we do take offshore for our tech dives, group guide, so people can come with operations that are teaching classes or just fun diving groups, and they can rent our whole boat out, and we go 2 tank dives offshore. to our local wrecks, reefs, and like I said, technical dive sites.
I was doing, so fun fact, obviously with our logo being the manta ray and everything, giant manta rays, I dove with those off of Cozumel, and those have always been my favorite animals, and that's why they're the logo. But so I did a dive with you guys about 1.5 years ago. We did a drift dive just right off the coast here, but we weren't more than 300 yards.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah, guys, if you're diving off here, you don't have to go on the east coast of Florida. You don't have to go far off to get deep. It's
20
literally
minutes to the dive site.
Yeah, quick in and out.
Yep.
And we were doing a drift dive, and I'll never forget it. I was doing that. I was filming. We saw a ton of barracuda, ton of eels, fish, everything. But the one thing that caught my eyes, the first time I ever seen tiger sharks.
What?
I had a big female. She had to be like 8 to 10 feet long.
Wow.
Female tiger shark, and it just made me fall in love. And it made me question. I almost changed the logo and my favorite animal, but they are beautiful and they're massive.
Yeah, and I honestly give credit to the Gulfstream for that reason, because you never know what's coming through. You don't need to bait any of the sharks. They are coming through on natural encounters, and that's honestly something that we would prefer, natural encounters, than over baiting and feeding them. So we could, and recently we've had great whites, hammerhead sightings, tiger shark sightings. So it has been the time of the year, and it's really awesome to have that pretty much all year round, because the Gulfstream is always that close.
Yeah, and maybe you can help me out with this, because I try to spread the word as much. Jaws was notorious for sharks, and I have people all the time. The number one question I get from people who don't dive is, aren't you afraid of getting eaten by a shark?
I'm afraid of not getting the video.
Yeah, I tell them no.
We swim after the sharks.
Like, we try to keep up with them. No, I tell everybody, no, the sharks are not going to bother you. As long as, you know, you're not in a feeding frenzy when they're, or in mating season around them, harassing them.
And your kind of fear from Jaws will totally dissipate when you go and enjoy those natural encounters. When you're just enjoying the reef, and then all of a sudden a shark cruises by and wants nothing to do with you, but you want everything to do with it because you're trying to take a video, it makes your, you know, outlook on the sharks completely different. So you have way more respect after the dive. Yeah,
and ironically, I'm keeping more of an eye on the barracuda when I'm in the water, because I have a lot of stainless steel on me, and a lot of shiny. So I tend to keep an eye on the barracuda more than anything else. But I tell everybody, I'm more worried about gators and crocs than I am about sharks.
I know, I don't think I would jump in the Everglades with crocodiles, but I'll definitely jump offshore with some great whites.
Yeah, it's a completely different, there's two different animals. One will rip you apart without even thinking about it. The other one, I tell everybody, it's kind of like a curious puppy dog. It just checks you out and then it moves on.
Yeah, I think they're more cats, in my opinion.
Cats? Oh, don't say it. I'm not a cat fan.
Well, that's when the show cuts. I'm just kidding.
I'm a dog lover.
All animal lovers.
Yeah. Cats I admire from afar.
Sure, see? Sharks admire from afar.
Yeah.
So yeah, with our technician, like you were saying, we do full service gears. Basically, we have an in-house technician who services all the gear, even gear that we don't sell. For instance, like Scuba Pro or Mare's equipment. We have all the parts, and if we can't get the parts, we order the parts. And so everything is done in-house. Typically, our 1 week turnaround is what you'll do for our gear service. So you can drop a regulator off for an annual service, BCD off, and it should be done in about a week.
Okay.
So it's a pretty quick turnaround. We do cater towards a lot of yachts around in the area because they have full equipment. And so we'll service 15 BCDs in the next 2 weeks.
It's a rough Florida life. Yachts.
Yachts.
Literally, we go right out here into the channel and yacht.
Yep. Which is, I mean, why not would you want to come to this spot? So just knowing that knows that this spot has to be good.
I think that's next on your guys' list, right? On your guys' list, right?
Getting a yacht?
Yeah, dive charter or a liveaboard.
We're doing a liveaboard in the Galapagos. So yeah, that's another department that our dive shop does, is we do international dive and snorkel trips. Every summer we go to Mexico, to Isla Mujeres, and we snorkel with whale sharks for a week in the summertime. And then we're having a Galapagos liveaboard trip happening soon. Yep.
That's diving with iguanas.
Yes.
Oh God, that sounds amazing.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Now you can get some green iguanas at the bridge, but when you go out on the liveaboard and you go to Galapagos, it is a whole nother world.
It's basically Godzilla at that point. Those things are huge.
Literally. Yeah, that's so cool. So we've got a photo editing workshop. We have in-house PADI photographers. Pretty much we're all PADI professionals, but there's independent contractors with high-end camera gear that will love take another diver to enjoy the critters and kind of help them hone in on the skills that they need to get those quality shots. And then they also will take pictures of you, so that way you can have those quality shots of yourself, because everybody obviously wants a picture of themselves diving.
We talked about that when I was over there at the counter. They're an authorized reseller for backscatter. I myself am a backscatter affiliate, so we have a like-minded affinity for dive photo equipment. So if somebody wants to get into photography, you can actually provide them with a professional who can take them, guide them, give them any tips, tricks, anything like that. So, because a lot of places will sell a student an underwater photography course or videography course and have nobody who actually knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
Which is, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot more details to it.
Yeah, and we're constantly learning that as we go, and we keep evolving, especially with backscatter's help.
For sure.
So guys, have that peace of mind that when you come here and you take an underwater photo or video course, you're gonna get pro level advice and help with that.
Yeah, especially as locals too, because we dive the bridge all the time. We have blackwater dives where you're seeing microscopic things that are smaller than your fingernail. So we do a lot of macro photography. We do a lot of wide angle because we have the sharks, we have this glide creepers. So we have a great variety for any type of photographer, from macro to wide angle to GoPro style as well. I'm a big GoPro girl. I do take a lot of GoPro videos. But when you're trying to get those quality shots of the seahorses at the bridge, the GoPro's not cutting it. You're gonna need to put a macro lens on, or just take the next step up.
It might eventually.
It might,
they keep
GoPro's
developing.
evolving.
Yeah. So one day it might, but we're not there yet.
No.
But definitely, we're gonna have to get some macro photography done. Maybe this week. We're gonna head out and dive that right now.
Yeah. So we've got sea life cameras. We've got cracking housings and lights, backscatter, Big Blue. We have a really good range of photography.
Big Blue, those are our neighbors over in Clearwater.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
we've got a lot of good variety of products from camera gear and photographers, pretty much of all levels.
Okay.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed the video and appreciate the recommendation of an amazing dive shop that I love. Next time you're in the area, please stop by and tell them that Blake from Tampa Bay Diving sent you. And to help the channel out, please reach out on their social media and let them know that you enjoy the content on the channel. The links are down in the description below. If you haven't already, please dive down, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that dive bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. I'll be back next week with another video, and well, I'll leave the final words to Julie from Pura Vida Divers.
Plan your dive and dive your plan. Yeah!
Great, girl.
You want to take a selfie?
Yes. Hey, girl, hey.